Time now for the Insider's Quick Six with the former congressman. Question one, fundamentally, in one quality or two, who are you as a public servant?
Honest and integrity focused.
Okay, question two, which current elected official do you respect most or respect a lot? Like, who does it the right way?
Oh gosh, there's so many.
Governor
Reynolds, I think, has done a phenomenal job.
Way to play to the home crowd.
It's true. You look at what she's been able to accomplish. She's fundamentally changed the economics of Iowa, and she got people who would not normally be with her to be with her on this notion of economic change can be good for the middle class and people who are working for a living.
Okay,
brilliant.
Sorry. Question three, should Kevin McCarthy, you were former congressman, should Kevin McCarthy lead as Speaker of the House next year?
Well, I have a theory that they have internal elections, and he won the internal election. Having that fight with the Democrats being able to participate and cause trouble does not help the future of the Republican Party. I think they lost that fight. There's other ways that they can contribute if you disagree with Kevin McCarthy in the process of being a legislator. They should choose that route instead.
Question four, what will happen if Donald Trump's your nominee for 2024?
What will happen? I think we'll have a very robust political debate all across the country.
Can he win or not?
Listen, again, I'm a forward-looking person. I think people love a lot of his policies. I think people are a little tired or seeing a lot of political exhaustion, a little bit of political discouragement over the constant fighting, the constant chaos. So I do think I travel all over the country. People are ready for something different that accomplishes some of the same things that he was able to accomplish.
Okay, this one's totally random. Number 5 here. There is another Mike Rogers, as I assume you know, the congressman from Alabama. Do you know the guy? Has there ever been confusion?
All the time, confusion. We would get calls into our office, and I could pretty much tell immediately my staff, with this hard Southern accent, they probably weren't calling the right Mike Rogers. And there was
not a lot of that in Michigan.
There's a Mike Rogers that was actually head of the National Security Agency. So he was on, Mike Rogers from Alabama was on the Armed Services. I was the chairman of the Intelligence Committee, and Mike Rogers was chair of the NSA. I used to say, you know what, that just shows you can't have enough Mike Rogers in national security.
Apparently not. We always end the show with a prediction. What do you have?
It's going to be a Big Ten championship, Ohio State versus Michigan at the end.
And who wins?
Well, University of Michigan.
Good call. Got to stick up for his home team. This will be our final show of 2022. We'll take a short break over the holidays. When we come back for 2023, of course, time to look ahead to the next legislative session. Republicans who have even more support in the Iowa State House are looking at some tax cuts. The governor wants to try again for her education reform. We'll see how that goes. In the meantime, have a great holiday season and a safe one.